Rival Series with 37 Formula 5000s headlining at the New Zealand Festival of Motor Racing, which this year celebrates the life and achievements of Bruce McLaren. So the points after the second round in Christchurch: Steve Ross leads overall from Chris Hyde and Ian Clements. Tim Rush leads Class A from Paul Christie and Kerry McIntosh. So two races on Sunday as part of the Bruce McLaren Festival here at Hampton Downs. This is race number 3 for the weekend. 2 races on Saturday, 2 races on Sunday. An amazing lineup of the thundering Formula 5000s. It's Kerry Anderson going through in the 8s, and a spin early for Kerry McIntosh in the number 39 big FM2. Everyone managing to avoid him down there through turn number 1. So Kenny Smith looking to eke back some points, and here he is. We're on board with the legend, chased by Mark Dwyer. A unique rearward camera angle on board the number 4 Lola T430 Englishman. Mark Dwyer slotting into that second position in the Lola T332. Also carrying it on board, the championship leader Steve Ross from Dunedin in the McRae GM1. Car number 5 running in the 5th position out of turn number 6 up the hill past the apartments. A massive crowd in this weekend to absolute capacity. Kenny Smith leads at the end of lap number 1. Battle for third as Dwyer goes through Williams. Roger Williams down the inside in the Interscope number 63, Lola T332. Down the inside of Chris Hyde, who's had some problems this weekend. Second in the championship chase. Williams picks up the position. Hyde was the top qualifier at the beginning of the weekend. Just some wisps of smoke there from the back of the Stuart Lush showing number 22 McRae GM1. That looks like another McRae GM1 there on the side of the track. Looked to be the STP number 2 of Alistair Russell. So as I said, Chris Hyde was the top qualifier. More smoke there from the back of the McRae from Kenny Smith and Mark Dwyer. Hyde's qualifying time, a stunning 1:02.945. Kenny Smith won the first race from Steve Ross, Ian Clements. Chris Hyde was a DNF with brake problems. More smoke, and that's a big issue for Chris Hyde. Second race on Saturday, it was Kenny Smith from Dwyer, Hyde and Ross. But all eyes are on Chris Hyde here at the moment. Former series champion 2 years ago. Running the McRae GM1, now raced by Steve Ross as Roger Williams drops a wheel off. Hyde still trying to come back at Williams down the inside under brakes into 2. He picks up the position, but he's definitely got some major issues. Back on board with Steve Ross. Championship leader after 2 strong rounds at Manfield and at Christchurch for the Lady Wigram Trophy, which was won by Roger Williams. Oh, there's a few issues, and that's Hyde. Just off to the right of our onboard, we saw a car going around, and it was Chris Hyde. Now on board with Brett Willis. Willis running just up inside the top 6 in another brand new Lola T332 imported into the country for this season. Willis better known as a very good sports sedan racer in the past, so it's good to see him back in the sport and racing with the Formula 5000s. And just listening to the engine note, cars are slowing, so I'd say there's a safety car board out here on the front straight. And it'll be for the stranded Chris Hyde. Well, what does that do for the championship? Kenny Smith was back in about 10th overall going into the round on points after not starting any of the races at Manfield. Had a DNF in the final race, the Lady Wigram Trophy, at the Powerball Tools International Raceway in Christchurch. So there's Alistair Russell getting towed off. So a couple of cars needing attention here in the 3rd race of the weekend. The first race on Sunday here at Hampton Downs for the Bruce McLaren Festival. And what a weekend it's been. Some fabulous cars on display, on and off track. A huge tent in the pit area with just the most exotic machinery you will ever see anywhere in Australasia, if not the world. So waiting for the restart, Kenny Smith leads them down. Dwyer's going to have a look to the outside as we go on board underneath the rear wing of Smith's Lola T430. Dwyer filling his mirrors down into turn 2. Williams in third. Then we go back to Peter Dunn in the March 73A in fourth. Smith under some early pressure off the restart. As Dwyer again looks to the outside at turn number 4, which tightens back the run up the hill to the hairpin. Williams now looking to seize the opportunity. Battling there with Dwyer. That's going to take a little bit of the pressure off Kenny Smith as we go back on board with Brett Willis. Oh, Steve Ross just up ahead. There was just about contact there. At turn 5, the hairpin as they drop down the hill in the run to 6. That looked to be Aaron Burson. And the XJ Estra of McRae GM1 going by Willis 4 position. Willis's exit off the hairpin compromised, just about ran into the back of Steve Ross's number 5. McRae GM1, similar colour, but two very, very different race cars. So Kenny Smith getting away here from Dwyer, the Englishman. Williams, Dunn. Then go back to Ian Clements in the 30. Tony Richards, and there is Steve Ross. So Ross just a little bit back further through the field. As we go back on board with the South Islander. So another good consistent run will keep the championship lead in the hands of Steve Ross, with still the final race of the weekend to go, and it will be the feature race for the Bruce McLaren Festival. As Ross looks to go down the inside, that's Tony Richards. Black number 23, Lola T332, as he missed a gear. Ross goes around the outside at 6. So a few of the faster cars having some issues. There's Peter Dunn in the 4th position, so that'll bring Steve Ross up into the 6th spot behind Ian Clements. Peter Dunn based in Monaco, expat Englishman. There's a very, very quick March 73A. Good to see something different up in amongst the Lolas and the McRaes. There's the 2010 Lady Wigram Trophy winner, Roger Williams. Chasing down Dwyer. That is 2nd, 3rd and 4th. 5th is Ian Clements. The number 30 Lola T332. Steve Ross just in behind him in 6th. As Clements goes by Judy Lyons in the Eagle Formula 5000. Judy and Frank Lyons, of course, big-time supporters of the MSC Tasman Revival Series here in Australasia, and with their own domestic racing over in Europe. And problems there. That's car number 12, Warwick Mortar. It's broken something in the right rear suspension as we go to the last lap on board with Steve Ross. And that was Roger Williams slowing. Well, there's been some big changes in the results. There's Williams slowing to a stop. Mortimer getting out of the number 12 machine. So drama towards the end of race 3 for the weekend for the MSC Tasman Revival Series. Kenny Smith's going to take the win out front. Williams gets out of his Interscope Lola T332. Here's Mark Dwyer chasing down Kenny Smith. So Smith looking for 3 out of 3 for the weekend. And some much needed points for the MSC Tasman Revival Series. Kenny Smith will take the victory. Race 1 on Sunday in front of a massive crowd. Mark Dwyer will be 2nd, Peter Dunn 3rd. And next across the line will be Steve Ross. He gets to the line in 4th ahead of Ian Clements. So Smith with the victory, 4.2 seconds ahead of Englishman Mark Dwyer. Then it's Peter Dunn, Steve Ross, Ian Clements and Aaron Burson in the McRae GM1.
Chris, looks like it came in on the tow truck. What happened?
Well, we started off with a good weekend with pole position and lap record, but at the start we had sort of steam coming out. I didn't notice it until it came through the cockpit, but we had a split hose, so we started to lose a bit of water, so that we had a back end that was pretty tail happy, as you can probably see. So had issues, but I spun in my own water. By the time I could see steam coming through my cockpit, unfortunately the whole back end was covered in water, and we had a bit of a speedway side coming out of the back end and a big slide and pulled the car up, unfortunately. So we're out for the race, and we lost some points, but it's only halfway through the season.
Kenny, well done. The first race is yours.
No, it's nice to have 3 in a row, especially on a new circuit. And it's a fantastic circuit. I can't say enough about it. It's thrilling to drive on it.
Looks like you've got a pretty fast lap in there as well.
Yeah, I think something like a 2-2, which is a good quick lap, and hopefully they'll put us right on the pole time game. So, no, very exciting to drive here.
Quite important at the start. We saw you won the start, so that's quite important around here.
Oh, definitely, because when you've got like Chris Hyde and a couple of the others that are here, Mark Dwyer, you know if they get to the front, it's going to be hard work getting past them. You know, their cars are pretty equal.
Well done on the victory.
Thank you very much.
Mark, well done from P3 through to second.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's a good, interesting bit of a race there.
Bit of carnage going on behind you.
Yeah, the cars were closing in pretty quick on me. I was struggling with a second gear problem. I think the dog ring's gone. So I was losing a bit of ground on the infield and then having to fight hard down the straights.
Will they be able to sort the gearbox out for later on?
Yeah, I'm hoping the guys have got a dog ring there in the second gear, and we should be able to get that right and hopefully take a race to Kenny in the next round.
Peter, all the way from Monaco to Hampton Downs, and you got third place. Well done.
I was quite lucky. I started 8th and I passed 4 cars during the first half of the race when one guy spun and then 3 others had to go to the left to avoid him in turn 1, and I went down the inside, so that was a bit fortunate. And then I got one more on the second half of the race, but no, I was a bit lucky.
Bit of carnage early on, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was very good. As long as it doesn't happen to me, that's just fine.